So then guys, the next generation of the Mac Studio with an M5 series chips inside of them looks like it is on its way, and I want to tell you all the details about this because this looks like this is the Mac Studio that everybody wants this time round. And you're probably going to ask me, why am I saying that? Why this time round? It's because of where we currently are with the Mac Studio. Let me give you a quick history lesson. So it was back in 2022 when we got the original Mac Studio, and essentially one could argue that this replaces the likes of a 27-inch iMac, and also it helps bridge that gap instead of paying out so much money on a Mac Pro if you don't actually need to use all those kind of PCIe slots and everything inside of it. Anyway, it was brought out alongside the Studio Display, and it is a fantastic device. We got the likes of the M1 Max, and we also got the M1 Ultra. Now the M1 Ultra chip essentially is two M1 Max chips sewn together to give you double the amount of cores, of CPU cores and GPU cores, and it's a fine bit of engineering, I must say myself. And then back in 2023, just a year later and a bit, we got an update to the Mac Studio, and this came along with the likes of an M2 Max and also the M2 Ultra. And to be deadly honest, this has been the most popular of the Mac Studios to come out. But then about a year and a bit later at WWDC 2023, we got updates to the Mac Studio again. This time we got the M2 Max and we also got the M2 Ultra. We also got the Mac Studio with the M2 Ultra inside of it, and this was really awesome. Now that Mac Studio options, the M2 Max and also the M2 Ultra, have been super popular versions of the Mac Studio. But it wasn't until 2025 this year when we got another update to the Mac Studio. In fact, it was quite an unusual one. We got the M4 Max, and a lot of people praised that we got this chip, but unusually we got an M3 Ultra. And essentially this was two M3 Maxes sewn together to give us the M3 Ultra. But what was strange about it is that we didn't actually get, say, two M4 Maxes sewn together. So this didn't really make a lot of sense with this. This seemed very unusual that we got this. We actually got an M3 Ultra based on older architects. Don't get me wrong, we got things like Thunderbolt 5 given with it, because obviously we didn't think we were going to get that, but we did. But it was just very, very unusual to actually get this. But this is why lots of people have been hesitant to buy this Mac Studio, because the one with the M3 Ultra still cost us $4,000 to start off with. That's the baseline version, whereas the M4 Max version cost us $2,000, and yet the M4 Max in quite a lot of ways is very similar in its performance to the likes of the M3 Ultra. Probably the M3 Ultra is just ahead in GPU performance, but not by a lot. And in CPU performance, it's just behind it in what we get with the M3 Ultra. So it made a lot of sense not to buy an M3 Ultra, and if you wanted to get a Mac Studio, you buy yourself a cheaper M2 Ultra, or you bought yourself the M4 Max. It just didn't make a lot of sense, like I just said right there. But the good news is like I said, the next generation of the Mac Studio is on its way. And the great thing is, we also already know of how many cores most likely Apple is going to give us. Now, do remember that the next Mac Studio is probably going to get an M5 Max and an M5 Ultra inside of it. And most likely the M5 chip normal, so this is just the normal M5, is going to be announced before the end of 2025, and potentially the M5 Pro and M5 Max may also get announced. It may not, but then the earliest it will be announced will be the early part of 2026. So that means then just a little bit later on after that, we'll probably get the Mac Studio updated with an M5 Max and an M5 Ultra, what I'll talk about for release date a little bit later on. But the great news is, what I'm going to say here, is that the M5 Max is going to be a really specced out chip that we're going to get. Don't forget, with the M5 Max right now, we have the likes of, say, a 16-core CPU. And remember, that is a 12-core performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. So most likely the M5 Max is going to get probably 2 more additional cores inside of it, 4 performance ones. So it's probably going to be the likes of 14 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. What is going to be amazing to get inside of this. And then also for GPU cores, this will probably get pushed up as well. Right now with the M4 Max, we have a 40-core GPU, what is super powerful. Most likely we will get 2 additional cores, pushing us up to 42 cores this time round. Now overall, I'm going to say that the M5 Max over the M4 Max will probably generally give us around about, say, about a 25% increase in speed. This is over, say, the Neuron engine, this is over graphics, CPU, you get it all together. That is what you probably are going to get there, what is absolutely fantastic to hear about. Now, the great news is that the M5 Ultra is also going to be really specced up this time. In fact, even better than what we had with the M3 Ultra, because obviously we're jumping 2 generations here. Remember, with the M3 Ultra right now, we have the likes of the actual CPU inside of that, and that has a 32-core CPU. And do remember, with that 32-core CPU, that we have the likes of, say, 24 performance cores, and then we actually have the likes of 8 efficiency cores inside of that right now. And then for the likes of the actual GPU, well, that is an 80-core GPU at the moment. But this looks like where things could be very different. Remember, we're basing this on the likes of the M4 Max, 2 of them stitched together again. So this is where things get really interesting. So this time, instead of having a 32-core CPU, we would in fact have the likes of a 36-core CPU. 28 of them being performance and 8 of them being efficiency cores. And remember, the cores of these are even more efficient, they're far faster as well. Also, they're going to be built on a new kind of TSMC 2 nanometer process as well, most likely. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be even better than we had before. And then also for GPU cores this time, we could get all the way up to the likes of 84 GPU cores with it. And I'm sure the performance on this would be amazing compared towards the M3 Ultra that we have right now. Now for RAM amounts, storage amounts, I don't personally think this is going to change a lot in what we're being offered right now. It's probably going to stick exactly the same, because when we got that last generation of the Mac Studio, they did get pushed up a fair bit there. So they're probably not going to change for that next generation. So just be aware of that one. But for things like design and also for ports, don't expect anything else really to change. The design of the Mac Studio is probably going to stay exactly the same. We may get a space black version, who knows. We've also been told we're going to get probably an updated version of the Studio display. And in fact, I actually made a video about that recently on my channel, so definitely check that out if you want to hear more. But really, nothing else is probably going to change with the Mac Studio. It's literally the guts inside for upgrades this time round. So then guys, just recently on this channel, we just did the channel giveaway to give away an iPad Pro. And if you want to see who the winner was for that, make sure you check out on my channel the video, the live stream. We had a lot of fun and it will tell you who won it there. But we do have another giveaway, and that giveaway is for this. This is what we talked about. I am now giving away an iPhone 17 Pro Max to one lucky subscriber on this channel. So I am super excited to give this away. And it's no ordinary one, it is the Cosmic Orange one. Everyone's favorite color, new color I would say out there. Just make sure you put a case on it so you don't scratch it up. But the other thing is, it's got 256 gigabytes of storage. It also does have a standard SIM card slot, because some countries out there, obviously, you know, you can't use eSIM. So I've made sure, to be fair, whoever wins it in the world here, that everyone's got a chance to actually use it. And the great thing is, I'm going to be giving this away in mid-January time. and you can enter into this giveaway right now. All you have to do is just put down into the comments below of what technology gear you're hoping to get in 2025 or the early part of 2026. It can be anything at all. It could be a new iPhone, it could be a new iPad, it could be nothing to do with Apple, it could be say Nintendo Switch 2 or something else out there. Whatever it is, just put it down into the comments below. Now, the other part of the giveaway will be happening in mid-January time, where I'll be making a video giving you even more details about the giveaway, and also I'll be doing a live stream to give away this iPhone. There'll be a form to fill into. So yeah, you won't want to miss out on that video. So the best thing that you can do right now is make sure that you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell, because you won't want to miss out on that. Now, the last thing I just want to quickly say is that sadly, there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonating me, telling you to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people. Best you can see right here. Please do report them. So moving on then, what about release date and price? Well, let's start with price first of all. So right now, when you ever get a Max chip, an M1 Max, the M2 Max or the M4 Max versions, they start at $2,000 or just under that US dollars. And most likely that price point is not going to change this time around. It's probably going to stay exactly the same. So don't expect any changes there. Now with the Ultra chip, I'm going to probably say exactly the same. It starts at $4,000. So the M1 Ultra, the M2 Ultra, and the M3 Ultra, and now the M5 Ultra, it's probably going to stay exactly the same again at $4,000 US dollars. So don't again expect any price increases or decreases, I should say, for that one. The only thing I'd say is about that M5 Ultra, it's going to be a bit more worth the money than compared to getting an M3 Ultra to the M4 Max. So yeah, that is the good news there. But then for the release date, what is going on there then? Well, most likely we're going to get, like I said, the M5 chip coming out before the end of 2025. This is the standard one, but the M5 Pro and the M5 Max may also get announced at the same time, but it is looking more likely early part of 2026 for that. So the Mac Studio then, the earliest we could probably see it updated is near the end of spring 2026, what would be about a year later since the last time the Mac Studio got updated, or most likely it's probably going to be at WWDC 2026. Remember, you know, this is a developer's machine quite a lot, and it's a pro machine, and you know, Apple even boasted about it, that obviously it can do large language models and mixing that with Apple Intelligence. I know that's all mainly done on device and over the air, Apple Cloud, whatever, but you get the idea how it fits in a bit better. It makes sense for the Mac Studio to be updated around that time. So not too long, it's going to be most likely 2026 when we're going to see an update with that. But really guys, that is the latest and greatest we have on the Mac Studio. Are you excited for it? Are you going to get one? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well guys, it's time to wrap up the video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time guys, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.